A strong hold over current affairs is crucial for aspirants to succeed in the UPSC Civil Services examination. Administer your preparation with updated and relevant news with the monthly Current Affairs Revision Program. Starting from 20th September at 5 p.m., the 60 dedicated classes offer detailed topic-wise coverage of important news compiled through authentic sources such as The Hindu, Indian Express, PIB, Yojana among others. Enhance your knowledge with up-to-date contextual understanding of all current affairs, expert support through personal mentoring, assessment through MCQs and mains-oriented questions, doubt-clearing sessions, student portal access.
Hello and welcome to this edition of News Today. Without delay, let's have a look at the headlines first. Border villages are first line of defense, says the Defense Minister. Vice President emphasizes on paying attention to pervasive subtle gender discrimination in society. RBI highlights issues in financing for sustainable agriculture. Jute production is expected to drop by 20% in financial year 2024-25 due to natural calamity, says National Jute Board. Organs on chips technology for disease modeling, drug development and personalized medicine. World Meteorological Organization released second edition of WMO Ozone and UV bulletin. In a recent address, India's Defense Minister emphasized a powerful message. Border villages are the country's first line of defense. As India faces a range of geostrategic challenges, these often overlooked villages play a critical role in national security. So how exactly do these border villages act as the first line of defense? Let's break it down. First and foremost, border villages enhance intelligence gathering. Living in close proximity to international borders, it enhances situational awareness about security threats, suspicious activities, smuggling attempts, and more. Moreover, residents serve as eyes and ears for border forces due to familiarity with local terrains, crossing points, patterns of movements, and more. But it doesn't stop there. Border villages also help tackle workforce shortages. Take, for example, the residents of Chushul village in Ladakh. During the 2020 standoff with Chinese troops, they played a critical role by helping the Indian Army secure supplies. Another key aspect is how well-developed border areas discredit adversary claims. With infrastructure and people firmly in place, these villages confirm the true situation and counter any misleading claims. Furthermore, having developed villages allows for quick military deployments in sensitive areas, ensuring that we remain prepared for any eventuality. Despite their strategic importance, these villages face significant challenges. One of the most persistent problems is infrastructure bottlenecks. The hilly and rugged terrains, particularly in the northeast, make it difficult to develop proper infrastructure. On top of that, many of these regions have a scattered population and low population density, complicating efforts to bring services and facilities to the people. Another concern is the ongoing law and order problems caused by illegal cross-border movements, insurgencies, and smuggling activities. Then there's the issue of trust. Many residents in these border villages feel a sense of deprivation when it comes to developmental facilities. Their socio-economic profile often remains low, which can lead to a sense of disconnection from the rest of the country. And let's not forget the developments across our borders. For instance, China's new border village policy along the Line of Actual Control or LAC is designed to strengthen its presence near our border. So what is being done to address these challenges? The Indian government has taken several initiatives aimed at improving the situation in border villages. One such initiative is the Vibrant Villages program, which focuses on the overall development of these areas. It aims to reverse out-migration, preserve local culture, and enhance the quality of life for residents. Similarly, the Border Area Development Program was designed to meet the special developmental needs of people living near the international border. Efforts to improve connectivity in these regions are also in full swing. Projects like the Atal Tunnel, Sela Tunnel, and Shinku La Tunnel are aimed at improving physical connectivity in remote border areas. In addition to that, digital connectivity is being enhanced, such as the recent government-funded 4G Airtel services that was introduced in Lumpur, Arunachal Pradesh.
In a recent address, the Vice President of India called for heightened attention to subtle gender discrimination, which, although less visible than overt forms, remains deeply entrenched in society. While progress has been made in eliminating blatant discrimination, such as the lack of gender-sensitive infrastructure, more subtle forms of inequality persist, often hidden in everyday interactions. Subtle gender discrimination manifests in various ways. For instance, compliments that reinforce traditional gender roles, like praising a woman's nurturing nature while questioning her leadership skills, seems positive, but ultimately undermine her potential. Similarly, unconscious biases in hiring, promotion, and evaluation often favor male candidates for roles perceived as requiring physical strength or leadership. Microaggressions, small, seemingly innocuous comments, can reinforce gender stereotypes, like assuming women are less committed to their careers due to family responsibilities. Work-life balance assumptions also play a role. Societal expectations around caregiving often mean that women are disproportionately affected by policies and assumptions about balancing career and family life. Addressing these subtle forms of discrimination requires innovative solutions. One approach is blind evaluation, where job candidates' physical attributes are hidden to prevent bias. Creating an inclusive workplace culture that respects input from all, regardless of gender, is also crucial. Additionally, companies can assess unconscious gender bias through surveys, language analysis, and tracking gender disparities in pay and career advancement. Finally, broader efforts at gender sensitization are needed to shift mindsets, especially among men. India has already implemented significant steps to curb gender discrimination. The Equal Remuneration Act of 1976 addresses wage gaps, while initiatives like Beti Bachao Beti Padhao aim to educate citizens against gender bias. Programs like the Prime Minister's Employment Generation Program support women entrepreneurs, and Mission Shakti focuses on the safety, security, and empowerment of women.
The Reserve Bank of India has recently highlighted significant challenges in financing sustainable agriculture, a topic that is becoming increasingly important for ensuring food security, combating climate change, and preserving our natural resources. However, financing sustainable agriculture remains a challenge, as highlighted by RBI in recently held International Conference on Sustainable Financing for Food Security and Farm Income. Let's take a closer look at the issues surrounding agro-financing in India and the solutions being suggested to move forward. One of the key challenges brought up by the RBI is the regional imbalance in agricultural financing. According to recent data, the southern region of India accounted for a whopping 47.13% of agricultural credit in 2021-22. In stark contrast, the northeastern region received just 0.76%. Access to credit is another pressing issue. Around 23% of agricultural credit in India still comes from non-institutional sources, making it difficult for many farmers to secure affordable and reliable funding. But that's not all. Fragmentation of land holdings has led to non-integrated value chain financing, adding yet another layer of complexity. On top of this, high financing costs, lack of collateral, and complicated lending procedures have made it challenging for many farmers to access the capital they need. So what can be done to address these challenges and promote sustainable financing in agriculture? The RBI, along with experts, has put forward several solutions. First, there is an increased focus on the role of collectives like farmer-producer organizations and farmer-producer companies in enhancing bargaining power, access to technology, and assured marketing. Second, the concept of value chain financing has been proposed, which integrates various stakeholders such as farmers, aggregators, traders, and processors into a coordinated system. This will streamline the entire agricultural value chain, making it more efficient and financially viable. Another solution is warehouse financing, which could help stabilize prices for agricultural commodities by providing storage solutions during times of market fluctuations. Additionally, adopting financing technologies will play a key role in expanding irrigation infrastructure, promoting micro-irrigation systems, and encouraging farm mechanization. Capital formation is also essential, and this can be achieved through convergence with government schemes and interest subventions that lower the financial burden on the farmers. Leveraging technology and data-driven insights could further enhance financing models. For example, collaborating with digital platforms to track crop yields could offer lenders more confidence in providing loans, as they would have real-time data on the productivity of farms. But what steps have already been taken to support agricultural financing in India? The Kisan Credit Card or KCC remains one of the most widely used tools for meeting the working capital needs of farmers. Additionally, the Agriculture Infrastructure Fund has been established to boost farm gate infrastructure, including the development of warehouses and cold storage facilities. In line with this, the agricultural marketing infrastructure has been focused on the construction and renovation of godowns and warehouses, further aiding farmers in storing their produce more effectively. For the northeastern region, which has historically been underserved, the Mission Organic Value Chain Development Scheme has been introduced. This program aims to create a comprehensive value chain from inputs to consumer markets, while also boosting the export potential of organic products. In our next news, let's turn our attention to the jute industry, which is facing a significant challenge this year. The National Jute Board has reported that jute production in India is expected to drop by 20% in the financial year 2024-25. The reason? Natural calamities, particularly floods, that have severely impacted jute crops in key regions of West Bengal and Assam. Let's dive into the details. West Bengal and Assam are the largest producers of jute in the country, and jute, often referred to as the golden fiber, is a major crop in these regions. So how does the jute industry contribute to the country's economy? India holds the title of the leading jute goods producing country in the world, accounting for a staggering 70% of global production. The industry is especially significant in the eastern region of India, with West Bengal producing around 73% of the total jute output. Interestingly, about 90% of India's jute production is consumed domestically, making it a vital part of the local economy. Moreover, the jute industry provides direct employment to approximately 0.37 million workers in organized mills, and jute exports have the potential to generate Rs 4,500 crore annually. However, in the financial year 2023-24, exports stood at Rs 3,000 crore. But despite these opportunities, the industry faces several challenges. One of the main issues is the declining area under jute cultivation, which dropped by 1.7 lakh hectares between 2013-14 and 2021-22. The rise of low-cost alternatives such as synthetic products also poses a significant threat to jute's dominance. Also, there is lack of impetus from states to procure jute products such as jute geotextiles, and that's not all. Over 80% of the raw jute grown in India is of below average or poor quality, adding to the difficulties the industry faces. On top of this, the jute sector struggles with the lack of modernization and a shortage of skilled labor. So what measures have been suggested to address these challenges? A recent report by the Standing Committee on Labor, Textiles and Skill Development has called for a comprehensive policy to set up new jute mills. It also recommended developing a scheme to tackle the shortage of skilled workers in the industry. Now, what initiatives are already in place? The National Jute Board, which was constituted under the National Jute Board Act of 2008, is responsible for the development of jute cultivation, manufacturing, and marketing. To further boost the sector, the National Jute Development Program has been launched as an umbrella scheme to promote jute industry development. There's also the Production Linked Incentive or PLI scheme, which aims to encourage jute manufacturing. Additionally, the Jute Corporation of India has been established to support the procurement and distribution of jute. And let's not forget the Jute Packaging Materials Compulsory Use in Packaging Commodities Act of 1987, which mandates the use of jute packaging for commodities. In efforts to improve the quality of jute, schemes like Jute Eye Care, improved cultivation and advanced dating exercise have been introduced, and the jute mark logo has been developed to promote high-quality jute products.
In an exciting leap forward for biotechnology, organs on chips or OoCs technology is revolutionizing the fields of disease modeling, drug development, and personalized medicine. These human-relevant 3D culture models, classified as new approach methods, offer more accurate and efficient ways to study human biology and develop treatments. These models include 3D spheroids, organoids, bioprinting, and OoCs technology. So what exactly is OoCs technology? It involves tiny fluid channels simulating blood flow and nutrient transport that mimic the functions of biological organs like the heart and lungs on a chip-sized device. These chips, crafted from living cells grown on flexible materials, replicate essential aspects of human organs in a lab environment. The advantages are staggering. First, OoCs can significantly reduce animal testing, providing a more ethical and often more accurate alternative. Second, unlike traditional 2D culture models, OoCs produce more realistic biological responses. In drug discovery, OoCs are making waves by screening and developing new drugs with greater precision. Also, precision medicine benefits immensely from OoCs, allowing researchers to tailor treatments for individual patients. They're also being used to study diseases, helping scientists to identify potential therapeutic targets. Furthermore, it will allow researchers to study how cells interact with each other, as it can sense and control the environment around living cells. But with progress comes challenges. Standardization of the manufacturing process for OoCs, lack of universally accepted protocols and materials, and replicating the full complexity of human organs remain hurdles. Recognizing the potential, the government has taken proactive steps, such as amending the new drugs and clinical trials rules in 2019, allowing OoCs to be used alongside animal. Additionally, policies like Bio-E3 are fostering innovation, especially in precision therapeutics. With these advancements, OoCs may hold the key to unlocking a new era of medical breakthroughs. In line with World Ozone Day on September 16, the World Meteorological Organization has released the second edition of its Ozone and UV Bulletin. This year's theme, Montreal Protocol Advancing Climate Actions, highlights the tremendous success of global efforts to protect the ozone layer. The bulletin reveals encouraging news. The ozone layer is on the road to recovery, thanks to global actions under the Montreal Protocol. The depletion of ozone-depleting substances, or ODS, is steadily decreasing, and full recovery to 1980 levels is expected by 2066 over Antarctica, 2045 over Arctic, and 2040 for the rest of the world. But the good news doesn't stop there. The Kigali Amendment of the Montreal Protocol, aimed at reducing hydrofluorocarbons, could reduce global warming by a significant 0.5 degrees Celsius by the end of this century. For those wondering, the ozone layer is located 15 to 30 kilometers above the Earth's surface in the stratosphere. It forms naturally through the interaction of ultraviolet light with molecular oxygen, creating a protective shield that blocks harmful UV radiation. However, ozone depletion occurs through chemical reactions involving ODS, such as chlorofluorocarbons, halogens, etc. Ozone holes are mainly found in Antarctica, which is accelerated by stratospheric clouds that provide surfaces for reactions. Notably, ozone hole refers to areas or regions harmed by damaging UV radiations. The impacts of ozone depletion are severe: increased risk of skin cancer, disrupted plant growth, and harm to marine life, especially phytoplankton, the foundation of ocean ecosystems. Global initiatives such as the Vienna Convention and the Montreal Protocol are some multilateral environmental agreement that regulates the production and consumption of man-made chemicals referred to as ODS. India, a proud signatory, has also played a major role. Also, the decision made to phase down hydrofluorocarbons in 2016 in Kigali, Rwanda, proved to be beneficial. Moreover, India's Cooling Action Plan, launched in 2019, focuses on sustainable cooling solutions, addressing both refrigerant use and energy efficiency. Lastly, India has phased out chlorofluorocarbons, carbon tetrachloride, halogens, methyl bromide, and methyl chloroform. In today's Personality News, we'll be discussing the famous poet and lyricist Shyamlal Gupta Parshad. He was recently remembered on his birth anniversary. Born in Narwal, Kanpur, he was a freedom fighter, journalist, social worker, and teacher. In terms of his key contributions, he composed the patriotic song Vijay Vishwa Tiranga Pyara or Chanda Geet in 1924. He also participated in major movements like Salt Satyagraha and Quit India movement. As a social worker, he founded many organizations including college, orphanage, and girls' schools. He also actively opposed dowry system and advocated for widows' remarriage. Also, he edited a monthly magazine called Sachiv. Awarded with Padma Shri in 1973, he displayed values of justice, courage, determination, etc.
As we conclude today's main news, let's have a look at some quick updates. Fast-track special courts are much more efficient in handling rape cases and those related to protection of children from Sexual Offences Act, according to a report released by India Child Protection. FTSCs are centrally sponsored schemes launched in 2019, extended up to 2026. Lending firms have utilized Account Aggregator to facilitate loans worth Rs 42,300 crores. Account Aggregators helps an individual securely and digitally access and share information from one financial institution they have an account with any other regulated financial institution in Account Aggregator network. ICAR Central Marine Fisheries Research Institute has been designated as a Center of Excellence for seaweed cultivation. Seaweed is a common name for various species of marine plants and algae, which grows in oceans as well as in rivers, lakes, etc. Central Pollution Control Board has introduced stringent environmental compensation guidelines to penalize violations of the BWM Rules 2022. These rules specify standards to manage waste batteries. Left-wing extremism has impeded forestry operations in Palamu Tiger Reserve. Palamu Tiger Reserve is located on the western part of the Chota Nagpur Plateau, Jharkhand. It has geological formation consisting of gneiss and is rich in bauxite and coal. Directorate General of GST Intelligence has suggested reciprocal arrangements with foreign governments for information sharing and enforcement measures to prevent tax evasion in OIDAR services. DGGI is an apex intelligence organization that collects and disseminates intelligence on GST, central excise, service tax evasion. Quantum natural language processing has emerged as a field of research with potentially profound implications for large language modeling. It is the application of quantum computing to natural language processing. NLP gives the computers ability to interpret, manipulate, and comprehend human language. The growing demand for phosphoric acid in electric vehicle batteries poses a potential threat to India's agriculture sector, which relies heavily on imported fertilizers. It is used in lithium iron phosphate batteries. Before we sign off, let's challenge your understanding in today's installment of Test Your Knowledge. Thank you for joining us. We hope you found this episode of News Today engaging. For the solution to the quiz and to access the PDF version of News Today, remember to visit the provided links in the description below.